Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to tell or not, but I did upgrade my camera. I'm using the same lenses I've been using, but the camera itself is a Canon R6. I was using the Canon 6D before, which is like a 10-year-old camera. This one is an R6, which is 2 or 3 years old itself, because the Canon R6 Mark II did come out recently. So I went ahead and jumped on the deal whenever the prices dropped on the R6. I was kind of looking for a reason to buy a new camera anyway, especially with all this video that I've been doing. I've been wanting to get into the 4K world. I know it uses a lot more data, but I figured it's going to be higher quality and it's going to look better for you guys, and I'll be happier with it. So I'm going to be trying this out. Let me know what you think, if you can tell a difference at all, if it looks better or worse, just whatever, leave it in the comments below. So I did grab the rear bumper out from the backyard, took the bumper support off, which I had to drill a lot of those bolts out. Because they were all rusted. Actually, I had to drill all of them out. None of them would budge at all. The bumper support itself is basically trashed, so I do have a replacement bumper support. It's in better shape that I'm going to be using. It'll have to be sanded down, wire wheeled, and repainted itself. We'll do that a little bit later. My focus is really to start getting all these body parts prepped for primer, because I do have the chassis in primer, and I need to get the other door done and this rear bumper and front bumper. The fenders are ready for primer. I'm going to sand them down one more time just to double check them and lay a coat of primer on them. But hopefully we can get this bumper all sanded down. It is an OEM bumper. It's in pretty good shape, but there is one little gouge over there on the one corner. They did repaint the entire thing with just some thick black paint. It's like a satin paint. They painted the bottom trim and the back bumper trim that's not supposed to be painted. So I'm going to have to strip all that paint off. I'll be sanding a lot on this. There's just a few little nicks and scratches to use some body filler on, and I'll be doing that. So I think I'm going to end up using the SEM trim coat to paint the trim on this, because I don't think there's any way to strip off all of this paint on here and restore the trim back to the OEM raw plastic. I think it's going to look really good, especially with a fresh coat on all the bottom trim pieces and the upper trim on the bumpers as well. So let's go ahead and get into this bumper, start sanding this thing down, getting it ready for primer. I'm going to try to knock this out, but I'm not going to get in too big of a hurry, because I just want to make sure all the prep is done properly. That way I don't run into issues later on after I paint and clear coat and have visible areas that I'm not happy with. So I'm going to jump into this and get this thing sanded down. Alright, got this rear bumper all sanded down. I started with 120 on the DA, but as I got through the paint, I started getting into this plastic, and this plastic does not like rough grit sandpaper. It starts to like form hairs, and they kind of stick up, and they're really hard to get to lay back down once you sand them up. So I went ahead and swapped to 320 with just a block sander by hand, and I sanded this guy down by hand. It took me all day long. It is dark outside now, so I'm gonna wrap it up here for tonight. The bumper is about 98% ready. Got this little gouge here to fill in with some body putty. Really, there's just a few little nicks and scratches that I'll probably fill in as well to make sure it's nice and smooth, and sand along the edge around the inside where I missed from where the bumper was laid down flat like this. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up tonight, and we'll see you in the morning, and we'll keep moving on this. Alright, as you can see, I have the fenders and the rear bumper all primed in. I went ahead and put 2 coats of primer on there, and I threw a guide coat on there as well. That's got to set up and dry for quite a while. I'm not going to be sanding on this stuff until it's fully cured. It's going to be at least probably a week or two. Same for the body of the car. It's actually been about a week or two, probably 2 weeks since I've primed the body of the car. So it's getting close to actually being able to sand that part. So I'm looking forward to that, blocking that down. I only did 1 coat of primer on the body, so I may end up having to prime it again. So I'm going to leave all that masked up just as it is. That way I don't have to remask it. Now, I did not prime in the door that I have over here because I still have to disassemble the other door and prep it for primer as well. So I figured I would do the doors at the same time. Since I don't have a lot of room in here to work with, and this actually took up quite a bit of room, I had to figure out some kind of way to get these fenders to stand out like this so I could actually prime in the underside. So happy with the progress, so we're going to keep moving on this as fast as I can in the spare time that I've actually got, which is not a lot. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video and keep following along, and we will get this car painted before you know it.